My dog's doing zoomies on the couch right now. Hello, everyone. I am here to talk to you about something that I have been struggling. Zoomies. Are you hiding from the zoomies? I always feel like someone's looking over my shoulder. Caspian, I can't talk to them if you keep zooming all over the couch. Okay. So the question is, do you get in your own way when it comes to... I can't stop him. He's having so much fun. Do you get in your own way because you want your own way? That's the question. And my answer is yes on accident. Nope. My answer is yes. So I know that people sometimes have that whole, it's my body, I got to do whatever I want with it in other areas of life. But I think I have a mindset of that with food. Like I just get to do what I want when I want to eat. And that mindset has really ruined me. And it has to do because I have lacked such discipline and not, trying to, I have always wanted to eat healthy and I have done, here and there, and I've tried and I've done okay. I mean, my family eats healthy. We eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of lean meats, fruits, seeds, nuts. We eat all that regularly. Sometimes we go out to eat. I don't buy a lot of processed food, barely ever at all, unless it's like a holiday or something. So I don't put myself in a really big position to eat bad foods. But there's a whole nother ball game, which I'm going to get into, because finding out and realizing what I've done wrong and how I've done it wrong is something that has occurred to me or has had a light bulb moment. Ding! With food. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I wanted to talk to you about the 30 days I did on that diet or program that I wasn't going to do, but I got so overwhelmed with my weight that I decided I'm going to do it. This particular program had a ton of processed food, but because I was not in a place to be able to map out my food in my mind, I was just not in a good place. I was like, okay, that'll be okay because I'm going to have everything planned out for me for a month. And I needed that. I needed it to be planned out for me so that I can go through and just focus on being able to get through time with a limited amount of food, because my biggest fears I've shared before was not having enough to eat. I was so afraid to be hungry. And as I shared in another video, I was starving on this diet. They give you a meal plan. The meals were so good. Like I loved the meals that they gave that were all really low and everything. But living off of those pieces of food that you get, I was starving. And it was or hungry. And it was like a deep, deep hunger. Like I was like, I've never been so hungry. So like my greatest fear about food was coming true. I realize it seems dramatic to say starving, but it was just a deep hunger that I was not prepared for. So I did 3 weeks and then I weaned myself off onto low calorie eating. With, the bars slowly being, or the food that you get being slowly edged out. Because I couldn't do it anymore. But in the 30 days, I did lose weight. I lost 8 pounds. So that's great. It's great. I lost the poundage. No, I lost weight, which is what I was doing it for. I don't love it. And I would not do it again. But it helped me because I was realizing through this thing that I am undisciplined is why I was hating it so much. I wanted what I wanted. And you cannot lose weight like that. You can't manage your eating lifestyle like that, just wanting what you want. And so it just really taught me a lot that it's going to take discipline. It's going to take curbing the way that I eat. It's going to take eating less, especially while I'm wanting to lose weight. So right now I have lost up to 10 pounds And that has been, I think, 2 weeks of eating just low calorie food, because there's a lot that I want to do over the next course of losing weight. What I'm learning is that what matters is calories in, calories out. Like, you have to be in a deficit to lose weight. You have to have a certain amount of calories to just maintain, and then you have to have a certain amount of calories that are going to make you gain weight. It's just that simple. And that surprised me. It really, really surprised me, because you have a bazillion diets that you can go on. And, you know, if you don't eat this, if you don't eat these carbs, you can lose weight. If you don't eat this, you can lose weight. And it all works for a season, but I said before that I want to have a balanced diet. That's why I like the idea of having all the macros, the protein, carbs, and fats, but having them in moderation. And so learning what that moderation is, learning what I need to do to continue to lose weight. So right now I am just in a deficit of calories, so I'm trying to lose weight. So I am hungry, but I'm not hungry like I was. I'm not hungry like a wolf. 80s? No? Look at that. Oh man, that's cute. Okay. Anyway, I'm not feeling like it's just eating my insides out, which is horrible. I wouldn't wish that on my own. I am my own enemy. I do think though that starting a diet, you should cut out a lot of stuff. I think that you should cut out your sugars, because that's one thing. If sugar is your problem, I think that you should have cut it out for at least a week. And even if you want to use the fake sugars that aren't great for you, but just because you need that sweet and you don't want to go back and start over again, having the sugar, it was so ridiculously hard for me, but coming off of sugar for like at least the first like 2 weeks, because I did put it back into my coffee. It's very low calorie. I put it back in my coffee, but I don't want anything as sweet anymore. I don't want cake and ice cream. My son had a birthday, or my husband had a birthday. Yes. And I tasted a bite of their cakes and pies and things, and I didn't want it. Or the ice cream. It was so sugary. So just getting off of sugar and then letting yourself kind of come back into sugar if you want, is so good, because you can see how much you don't need it. And it's in everything. It's so important to kind of lessen the sugar that you're using. Don't get rid of it altogether, but you don't have to get rid of it altogether. But lessening the intake of sugar is probably a good call. Anyway, so I'm kind of just sharing where I'm at. I'm pretty encouraged. You know, losing weight, I think you can get encouraged. It's a long road that I'm on. That is scary to me. I'm still having trouble at night with food, but now I know what kind of foods are low calorie, so I can kind of curb towards those foods. But I have a really, really long way to go. And I'm going to start doing a lot more walking and making sure that I'm, burning calories, so that way that helps as well. But I'm not going to do anything drastic right now. I definitely am not going to do any more programs. And before, I wanted to do a video that was like, I was wrong again, because I was wrong. Before, when I was like, I keep doing all these good things for me, but it's not working. I think that it does work, because what I wanted to share was finally realizing that what my struggle is that I was overeating. And that might be silly, like, duh, of course you were, or whatever. But it wasn't to me. For some reason, I just didn't understand that. I didn't understand the amount of calories inside of the things that I was eating, whether it's good or bad. Coffees, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, any kind of baked good treats, things like that. Condiments. The amount of calories is insane. I would love to do a video where we just look at things and be like, look at all the calories in this thing. It's just nuts. I can't even believe it. And so accidentally even gaining weight. Like, can you imagine all the weight that you could lose if you just cut back on certain items in your kitchen, in your fridge, in your pantry? I think it would be huge. Like, get the stuff out of your house. I'm sure that you hear that all the time. But like switching it. And this is why I think you have to go off the sugar for like a week, because all the yummy, delicious things that we're used to have so much sugar. So the flavor is kind of upped. So if you were to be like, I'm going to switch out for all these disgusting things, it's just too hard of a switch. Sometimes you have to ease into things, but like getting rid of all the sugar for a while, and then like eating like the lower side of like sour cream and yogurt and ketchup or whatever it is that you're eating that's way lower in calories, it wasn't like a drastic punch in the face. It was just a slap, because it's not as good, but it's not as drastic. Like, I can't live without it because it's so delicious and this is so disgusting. It wasn't a hard of a transition to do that. But I definitely am going to switch out things for lower calorie items. Some stuff is disgusting. I'm not going to lie for 1 minute. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to live on disgusting items at all. I also don't want to live on processed things. But one thing that I'm learning that I'm trying to, one thing I'm learning is it's going to be a process. I talked about that program having a lot of processed food in it. And now I'm in the second stage. I still am eating processed food. And when I say processed food, the breads and the tortillas and things like that, because I think one of my things that I love, if you can get rid of bread in your life or tortillas or anything that holds your food, do it. But if you want it and you feel like you'll like binge on it or something, still have it, but have the lower calorie item of that. So those are the processed things I'm eating right now. I'm not ready to take them out. I think I will eventually, because I want to do homemade things and I want to eat clean. That's my goal. Eating clean and being healthy. But I'm going to process into those things. And if I come across a low calorie one I can make, maybe I'll do that. So right now I'm having these low and I don't even love it. I bought this keto bread. It tastes like paper. I got these tortillas that I had. I think there was like 15 carbs and 15 calories in one that big. So that means I can have like 4, It was not delicious. Like all the meals that I've been sort of making lately, off of the meals, not the meals that I had in the program. Those were delicious. But the meals I've been making and just kind of seeing and finding that are like balanced have not been full of flavor. They've been okay, but you go from having these like high fat foods that are so delicious and high salt and high, seasoning or whatever you're doing to, still having some, but not as much. It's like, ooh, but I don't know that will be forever, but I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I would love to hear from people, talk to people about it. And I'm going to move forward and just continue to lose weight. So some of the stuff I'm going to be doing, I will share with you on here. But until next time, thanks for coming along with me in this journey. And I look forward to growing. And I hope that y'all come along with me. Anyways, thank you. Bye.